Alright, so you're gonna have to work with me on this one. I've got to burn some leaves. So I'm gonna do that at the same time. If we get clogged out by some smoke here in a second, that's why. But basically, who do we have? Let's see first before we get going. Deer tenderloin, damn Bill. Always making me hungry. Added extra bell peppers, onions. Oh man. So, like I said, we're gonna kind of make this work. I have some light set up in case it starts to get dark. What's up, Dan? And okay, if this live feed ends up helping you, then you need to thank Ground Pounder. John, what's up, buddy? Um, yeah, so if this live feed helps you in any way, you should go over to Ground Pounder's page and check it out and view some of his videos or tell him thanks, because basically on my live feeds, I think I'm going to use them for an opportunity to just like answer questions, like do demonstrations and stuff for the most part, and then, you know, talk with you guys. But Ground Pounder wanted to know about a spike ascender, and I have a very, very, very simple setup. It is the fastest, quickest, easiest setup that there is, and you know, that's basically what we're gonna do today is do that for him. God damn, my phone just. Oh, right on, John. John's the man. He's always so positive. What is up, buddy? Ground Pounder. We're gonna do that spike ascender video for you right now because, okay, if you've seen the little handsaw, battery powered handsaw video, that was my attempt at doing a YouTube short, but I forgot that they are only a minute and I made it a 2-minute video because I'm used to Instagram, so I messed up. So you have a vertical regular video that's only 2 minutes. That was just a goofy video anyway, just something I wanted to do and kind of document it. But yeah, that's what that video was. So if you noticed it and it was kind of weird, that's kind of why. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Ground Pounder calls it the pistola, the chain pistola. Uh, yeah, let's do a super simple spike ascender setup. I got one spike here with me. It's the only one I need. If you notice, I have really bad knees. Look how bent my spike is. It kind of goes at an angle like into the tree. But yeah. And there's those side pads that I talked to you guys about right here. See how thick and cushiony those are? They're super nice. They just slide down. Take like your pad off and then you slide it down onto this. Um, and then no more sore ankles. So I just use regular straps for the bottoms. Velcro would be nice, but my neighbor coming home thinking I'm a nutcase out here talking to myself. But yeah, and I love these pads. So anybody that ever uses those, they're Cadillacs. So I also have my gear bag. So we're gonna set a rope up in this, and then we're gonna show you how to set the spike ascender up, make it, set it up, and I'm gonna do a version of it that I've never even tried before. It may be a bad idea, but I'm trying to simplify it for anybody out there in case you can't get exactly what I have. I found more of a universal way of doing it. So let's just let's do it. All right. Let me put you guys in a bit of a better. I bet the lighting will be a little better too if I go like this. Oh yeah, lighting is much better. Got me a chair set up here. We got 6 thumbs up and 6 people. You guys are awesome. So first, set a rope. I'm just gonna throw a rope up over this branch real quick. figured it would take me 15 tries since it was on camera, but we got lucky. And I just like to anchor it to my like plant holder here. Probably not this thing here. Probably not the best idea. There's my base anchor. Incredibly safe. So get you one of these little hooks for a plant. And you can stop doing all that tying that you have to do on the base. But don't take me serious, I'm kidding. Alright, so we have a rope. And the rope is basically just going to be to demonstrate the spike ascender going up the rope. Then I want to show you how to turn the same hand ascender very quickly, very easily into a knee ascender if you needed. So if you have a hand ascender, I use my hand ascenders. I used to have like 3 or 4 of them, but I use them for so much stuff. They're such a versatile tool. Like when you're pulling limbs over, like the guys can use it as like a good leverage point instead of wrapping the rope around their hand. You use a hand ascender. But and then all the climbing ways of using it is just, there's so many different ways. I use it as a brake for my maze dam to keep the rope from having like an emergency brake so it can't slip. Also use it to hold leverage on it. So very, 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 very useful tool to have. So if you don't have one, it would be a tool that I would say, even if you don't find yourself using it now, it's a good tool to have. So. Now, I have this is right here. This is my knee ascender setup that I made from a Pantene foot ascender. So I sewed this little strap up as a connecting piece, and then this is a foot loop that we're going to use this same foot loop, take all this off and use this foot loop and the hand ascender and turn it into a knee ascender also with just a bungee strap. A bungee strap and a hand ascender, and you have a multi-tool. So here we go. Oh, what I was saying is I have a hand ascender with, it's already set up as a spike ascender, so I can use that. But here is a hand ascender with nothing on it. So here is the bare bones. So a control, and then here's your, your experiment, whatever it is. But so how can you turn this into an effective spike ascender? Well, the reason is because with your spike, the gaff, you just need something strong enough that allows you to step on it, hold enough. So my first like thoughts on it was like when I seen a hand ascender, I'm like, whoa, if you hook that hand ascender up underneath the gaff right there, inside there, look how it's aligned. So then I thought, okay, I want to be able to put that on, go up the tree, and then take it off real quick. Well, if I permanently put a mount on there, all that stuff, it makes it kind of hard. So I tried hooking it on here and then attaching a strap that went around this. That took a long time to tie up, set up. It worked. But the main thing you're looking to do is keep it in an upward stance. Like, you want it to stay standing. So you want whatever it is to hold. You need something to hold it into that spike, because you don't have to worry about it going up. You have to worry about it going down. No matter how you're stepping on it, whatever you're doing, it is, your weight is enough to keep it from ever going up, and that hook holds it in place right in there. So if you see on this hand ascender, see how this one's got this little hand cover part? It's a little piece of plastic kind of sticks out. Well, you can see I took it off of this one, and there's a reason, because it allowed the spike to sit down in it much easier, much smoother. So I'm thinking, how can I keep this thing standing straight up? So what I did is I took a bungee and I attach the bungee to this upper hole. Get this one. That hole there. So that hole wasn't being used. I thought there's a good attachment point, but I need it to be incredibly flat and not get in the way of this part right here working. So this has two locks. It's got a lock there, and then you have to unlock it there. But that's the thing I was trying to figure out. How do I get it to where this isn't in the way of like the rope here? Because the rope still needs to run up smooth and stuff. So I found these like flat looking bungees. You see how skinny it is, and how the clip itself is kind of flat, which will let it lay against everything much smoother. It won't be a round surface. The hook's a little bigger. So, and we got 10 thumbs up. You guys are awesome. So now I have this. What I did was I took this, and I'll take it apart for you guys. What I did was I took it and I tied, while I had it stretched out, I tied an alpine butterfly, or a circus knot, I think it was a circus knot, in the middle. So you have to do a little bit of adjusting depending on the distance on your spike where you need to hold from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip this up here on this strap. So I needed, or on the pad. So I needed to make sure that the hook would go over that. Now look how nice that hook lays, it goes on, and it lays flat against it. So I tried to just hook it, and it was way too long. So I'm like, okay, well, I got a problem there. If the strap is too long, I just need to take some space up. So that's where this loop came from. And because I was thinking originally, attach it there, like that, that's out of the way, and attach it there. This would probably work. I've never actually tried it, but I bet you, because of the length, this, yeah, see, what I could do is hook it up in there like that, and then hook that strap up there. So it keeps it standing, but it's a little too loose. But that would work. You just need a little short bungee. But here's how I set it up. Now I took the loop, I ran it through the center hole here, and like you would do with a throw ball, I just girth hitched it on. So the best part about this though was that this strap is flat. So when I put it down on there, it set so snug and so flat. It was so perfect. And it just worked out for me. The length ended up working out because I originally made that knot a little smaller, but then I made it a little bigger. So now, look how nice and snug it is down on that. It's out of the way for the rope, so the rope can travel through easily. And now we just need to make sure that it's going to hook up onto the actual spike correctly. So if we have our spike, take it. Now this is how quick I set my spike ascender up. I have no spike ascender. I need a spike ascender. This quick. Hook. Hook. And hook. So now, and what I would do is I would adjust where the hooks are at until I get it right in the, because you want it to be aligned as best as you possibly can. So I would get it aligned just like that. Those hooks are up there. That is how simple that setup is. Now look, that thing is on there snug. It's not going anywhere. So then I hook up, put it in there. Now I have a spike ascender. The fact when you move that spike ascender up the spike some, it becomes so much more like comfortable. It becomes so much like more secure, it feels like. So I love the distance up here. When normally you have them way down here and it's more weight on your ankle and stuff, but then when you put it here, it moves it halfway up the spike, and that's in a real good spot where you're real sturdy. So then you're up in the tree and you're like, okay, now I'm done using it. I need to be able to climb around, and this thing kind of gets in my way. It takes up some gap space. So I wanted one that I could take off just as quick. So I set it up. Now it's off. To hook it up that quick. To take it apart that quick. So if there is a quicker removable spike ascender out there, tag me in it. Show me it, because I've never seen one. This is my little setup that I use, and I use it all the time. Give me just a second. I'm gonna throw some leaves on this fire. Okay, so should probably put some lights on. Let's see. There. Now we lit her up. So let me show you how that hooks up. Since we got it out, let's go ahead and show you how it works. We set a rope already, so let's go ahead and hook it up and show you how it works on the actual rope. So it hooks up pretty simple. You reach down there with your thumb, you pull the trigger down, open that up. Your hand ascender may be different, but now here's the best part about it. Normally a spike ascender is like right here by your spike, and you end up gaffing your rope sometimes. This one being up here and being a little cockeyed, actually, like, I don't have an issue. It just runs right next to my spike. So yeah, it works perfect. So I would use it like this: step up, push down, step up, push down. That is the Steelborn. No, I'm not calling myself nothing like I hate even saying that name, but yeah, that's it. That's it. Any questions? Okay, so I'm gonna go through the comments. I cannot believe you're pushing in danger like that, not knowing. Yeah, I know, John. It was crazy. Anybody else been hunting? My target book, but I can't afford it. Ground pounder. Got 3 does so far. I haven't used them yet. I'm ready. There is. How's it going? Hey, what's up, Dan? How you doing, buddy? Both the Dan's here. Well, that's a good idea. I like. Right on, Dan. Cool. Well, I've showed it before, but Ground Pounder wanted to see it. So if this helps anybody, like I said, it's because of Ground Pounder. So go give him a shout. I was playing with a foot ascender and my spurs the other day, but it was stumping me. You can also find a foot ascender and put your spikes on, and then put your foot ascender over your spikes and hook it up that way. It works, but it's uncomfortable. This is the most comfortable setup I've ever used. As far as, I find this to be more comfortable than my foot ascender. My foot ascender works perfect. It's climbing technology, and it's a very good foot ascender, but it's not as comfortable as this. And I think it's because, you know, I have this nice shank to work off of, and everything is stuck to the side of my leg as opposed to down on my foot and putting all that pressure in the arch of your foot. So love this setup. If you've never tried it, never used it, definitely give it a shot. So the thing I was worried about was not everybody's gonna have this kind of bungee. Let me kind of keep going a little bit on the comments so I don't get too far.
That light not clipped to your phone or the stand?
No. I hate getting in the tree and fighting to take my... Yeah, and it was always been a headache and a pain for me, and then I hated having to, you know, because you almost want to just leave it on because the battle having to remove it and everything, but then it's like, well, hell with that, I can't leave it on because you can't see your gaff. And like, I know that sounds weird, but you want to see where it's poking into. So, I mean, I've wore mine forever, but I still like to visually be able to see where I'm gapping to. And when you have a foot ascender on, you can't. Rob, Bob, what's going on? Too simple, that'll never work. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I see you use that. Yep, yeah. Howdy. That's awesome. I'm in a funk. Hope y'all are jamming. Oh no, Dan, that sucks. What's up? Might have to get me one of them. I'm fixing to start climbing, so right on. Yeah, it's definitely a good tool to have. Cool, I caught up on comments. So now, if you don't have this kind of bungee, check this out. I think this will work. I may be wrong, but I got dark out here, so I'm having trouble even seeing. Okay, so everybody can find these. These are these silly little things. Like, you can use this for a retrieval ball, but I think we can also take this and just a ring, like a hook, from a, I think it's from another bungee. So I'll take it, and what I'm gonna do, check this out. So I'll take this, and we're gonna make a foot ascender out of the other foot ascender, or spike ascender out of the other hand ascender I have. So I'll take this, I'll hook it through, and we'll use this same setup and turn it into a knee ascender. Hook it up, put it through just like this, over the top. Now we're girth hitched on. Now we got this great bungee. So now, oh, hang on. I think I jumped the gun. First, so that we can get it all through, we'll attach this part. And I think what I'm gonna do is just wrap it twice. But see what happens? That ball stops. So we'll use the ball like that. But I need to take up more space. So I'll double it. And I'll put it back through there again. And over the top. So now we've got it like that. Now we'll take this that's hooked on, ball's holding it and running it, stopping it going through. Now we'll put it on our hook like we were doing. So it goes up through the little circle part at the bottom, the doubled part, and you take this and you run it over the top and then tighten it down. So now we're girth hitched on, we're hooked up, and this should work. Should be able to just take, hook it on, and hook it on. Yeah, it works. So it doesn't fit as snug, you know, but it fits pretty dang good. So I would actually move this thing quite a ways over. But the part I don't like actually about it is probably the ball being there, because it kind of, you got to put it off to the side. But it being off to the side will just keep it from running into your gaff. You can put it this way, so it pushes it away from your gaff as you're going up. But yeah, that's the setup. Just a quick bungee to hold it upward. That's all its purpose is. And then the spike, or the hand ascender, is just strong enough in the inside to just hook underneath your gaff. So that's another way. Now we can take this same thing, this same setup that we got right here, and just leave it like this and turn it into a knee ascender by adding a foot loop. So I'll take this foot loop here, I think, yeah. And I'll take it off of this knee ascender that I have, because with a knee ascender you need somewhere to place your foot, and then the rest of it is actually, you need an elastic band to tend itself, to pull itself upward. So that's what the bungee's going to do. It's going to do that part. So when you buy a foot loop, they're adjustable. They have an adjustable spot on them. Your foot goes into there, and then they have an adjustable piece here to adjust this loop to make it whatever length you need. So you take a carabiner and attach it to your hand ascender right here. and then we'll take it and attach it to the foot loop. So usually when you're using a knee ascender, it stretches to about your chest, so you want that much length. So I'll step back here to show you. Oh, hang on, we used the wrong one. I used my other one, sorry. My original one. So we got this. We'll hook it up. I'll put my foot onto that. So now this goes up into the rope here, and what I would do is take this hook right here, and I would hook it to the hitch climber, or to, you know, even to your chest, so that it causes a bit of bounce here, so that when you lift your foot, it goes upward. So what you need is knee stretch. So you want it to be all the way up when you extend your knee, but you want it to have your full step. So you can adjust that by lengthening your foot ascend, or your foot loop, or whatever. But yeah, then you hook it up, and as you're going up, you have your, you know, your foot ascender on one end, and now you can rope walk. Or if you don't like having a spike ascender, you can use it as a knee ascender. You hook that up there, and then every time I go to step up, it tends itself. Step up, it tends itself. So you need this little hook to be on there to be able to attach it real easy. So you can hook that to anything. You could even hook that to your, like a neck tether, as you put it around, or whatever you're using to tin your slack. So that's just a simple piece from a bungee. That's just a simple ball bungee and a foot loop. So before it gets too dark on me, I'm gonna put some of my stuff away, and then I will sit here and shoot the shit with you guys for as long as you want. Well, for as long as I can, okay? Don't get mad at me if it's not long enough. And I'll answer any questions you have. And like I said, if you have an idea for a video, say it. Ground Pounder did, and that's why we did this video today. I mean, we were going to do a live feed, but that's the reason this kind of turned into something where a lot of people probably get some value out of this, where I feel like me rambling and just talking usually doesn't have a lot of value in it. And in some cases could just downright be annoying. Ah, come on. I'm gonna go over here and sit down to. It's definitely low and slow. I have to practice on my moving rope. Stationary rope I have. That's pretty cool. Sweet gum are good to climbing. More than one skin a cat. 100%, Billy. That's a sweet gum right here. That's what we're under right now. Using what you have, I love it. Yeah, hand ascender is so valuable. It works in so many different ways. What anchor are you planning on using on the little guy, John? That's a great setup. Thanks, Dan. I plan on using just regular friction over one of the lower limbs, but I base anchor. I was so if you're practicing, here, let me give you a little tip. So if you're practicing and you're just going up in a tree repeatedly, this would be what I would do, so that you can get good at tending your slack and stuff. I would take and throw a rope up over a branch, okay? And then on this, if you have two ropes at least, use one to anchor and put a pulley on this end, and then hoist it back up into the tree with your other rope attached. So you're on a pulley, you know? So what you would have is this pulled way up into the tree, but it would have a pulley hanging off of it, or a shackle or something, and then your climbing rope going through it, because then it won't have a bunch of friction. It'll move real freely. It'll be easy to tend slack. It'll be a lot nicer. So you may try that out, John. That may help. because all the friction from just throwing it over a branch can make it tricky and kind of hard to tend slack and move as freely as you normally would. The less friction, the better almost. Everything's just gonna run super smooth. But that does require you to have 2 ropes, so I kind of get if that's not an available thing or something you could do. We have more thumbs up than we have people. You guys are crazy. I appreciate it. And I have been doing my best to continuously kick out content. And I'm going to try to keep this going. And you guys are about to get your first live or raw video. I don't know if I'm going to like it. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like I'm going to have to try it multiple times to kind of find that sweet spot on what works, like how long a video should be. Because sometimes with a raw video, a long video is better. But sometimes with a video, you just lose people's attention spans and they just click off. So I don't want to make them too long, but I do want to make them long enough that way you can, like, something happens. You know, we're showing real time and yeah, it sucks because in the raw video, I'm watching it back, and my saw, I had used I had sharpened it, my 201, and then after I sharpened it, I needed to knock the guides down, the dogs down, and so I couldn't find my guide for that I normally use, my steel one. So I found an old Husqvarna one, and I figured it would work. And the problem was, it was cheap metal, and so every time I used it to knock down the dogs, I had grinded some of it off. And I noticed it the next day when I looked at it and it was daylight, because I was just on a little bit of light out my shed. But I knocked the dogs down way too much, and I ended up with a bunch of chatter, and it just sucks. It sucks because it's oak. It's, harder than a woodpecker's lip, and it's dead. So I do find myself climbing another ridiculously dead tree. But if we're just being straight with each other, I think it's just what I do. I think it's just my thing. I climb shitty trees. Alright, so more leaves on here. You guys want to watch the leaves burn? Let me see the fire instead. Probably nicer to look at. And I made sure I brought the light, so we should be killer on light. I'm being blinded, but at least you can see me. Let's see. More thumbs up again than we got people. You guys are crazy. I plan on using regular friction, John. Base anchor or canopy. Little tiny. I was doing something similar the other day with a bungee hook like that, but put it in place it with a small beaner. Yeah, you kind of just fiddle with stuff. You start to, look at just different things and being like I'm the type of person, when I see a problem with something, I input that into my head, and I'm like, that's an issue that at some point, let me fix this, at some point I want to fix, because that's just kind of my personality. I've always been that type of person. I need to, like, if I don't understand something, I need to understand. Like, I will do whatever I have to get it figured out. And when I have a tool that isn't working correctly, I'm like, what can I do to make it work right? There's gotta be something. So I just kind of remember that, And then I stumble across the answers later on with silly stuff, things that, I wouldn't even think of. That I, like a bungee, and I'm like, oh, there it is. That's the answer to that. Dang, I missed the fox. Was worried about getting back with the damn hook. Yeah, yeah, them bungees are, you don't want to trust like extend them too far out. That's why I liked with the spike ascender it being doubled, because it doesn't put all the stress on one end, and because that's where you end up, they break and stuff and wear out. But those flat ones end up being real nice. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. That I was hoping to be able to go ahead and do that, and kind of put that in here, and then when people ask me about that, I can just revert them straight to this video, because this video focused solely on that. So now we have a reference for it, and I'll just, when I get asked about it from now on, I'll just point them to this. Best thing is I have 2 hands already. Awesome. Cool. Cool. Then you're set, man. Those things work for so many different things. Like, I don't know. They're so nice, though. Very, very useful. I find myself using them a lot. I even use them like for when I'm rigging to pre-tension. You can, as you're going around like the porter wrap or whatever, you go ahead and clip it on and either use a carabiner or a little micro pulley and take your rope that's coming down, goes around the porter wrap. The slack, you take it up and put it in that pulley, and then when you pull down, you get a 3-to-1, which tightens the system up. So they work really good. They're really quick for like pre-tensioning and stuff. I think we're about to burst into flames back here behind me. I'm just glad to see you. Dan, you're the man. I've been digging the videos, dude. Any suggestion on hand center to buy or not to buy? The one I have there is a CMI. I used to own a Petzl hand ascender, but like I left it on a when I used to work for a company, a long time ago. I worked for them once, and they like I left my hand ascender there, and either the homeowner stole it or one of the workers, and I probably would bet on being one of the workers, but I don't know what they planned on doing with it. But who knows? Something like that to a crackhead would be like, oh, I could hold rope better. I don't know. I hate when people steal my stuff. I do have a big old 5/8 bull rope that I could do that. You just need a pulley. Yeah, you just need a pulley, or like I said, you could just tie a big shackle on the end. A shackle isn't too sharp, buy a thick shackle. The friction of going over even just a carabiner, but a carabiner is really sharp. When the rope goes over it, it makes it smush right up here at the top where it goes over. When it's something sharp, it puts a hard bend in the rope, and then it can like make the rope break. It makes it smash and smush and stretch and stuff. So a big shackle would work really good. A big ring, but anything like that you could climb off of if you want. It doesn't hurt for it to be overkill. You want it to be definitely good enough. So a big shackle would be, the cheapest route. Pulleys are kind of expensive, um, but I'm sure you could find one. Do you want a single or a dual? How's your leg and foot doing? Oh, Turbo, what's up, buddy? It's better. My ankle's still kind of rough. Like I tried to go skate. Like I haven't touched a skateboard in quite a while. I don't know. It's been weeks, but like I couldn't walk. It got so bad. So I haven't really messed with it much. I went today and tried, and it was pretty rough. Like I can't flick my foot and do like flip tricks, which kind of makes me mad, but it is what it is. See the people looking at me like I'm crazy? They just can't go home and mind their own. People are so nosy. You ever seen a guy sit out in his yard, lit up, talking to his phone in the middle of a fire? What's wrong with them? But yeah, it's getting a lot. I think it's getting a lot better. It just worries me. I don't want there to be any like infection in like my blood or anything. Like I hope the antibiotics did their job and it's just healing. So thank you for asking though, Turbo. I'm on a rig line. No, he's talking about um using the rig line as a base anchor to pull a pulley up into the tree so he can climb off the pulley for practice. Because it would just be so much easier tending your slack and all that stuff. You're getting mechanical advantage as opposed to all the crazy friction you would get by throwing it up over a branch. And most people don't think about it, but like if your rope rubs enough on a branch repeatedly, it'll kill the branch. So we'll be fine. I have some cheap ones off Amazon BTS. Can't recall the brand. Yeah, there you can find cheap ones. You definitely can. I think Harbor Freight. You can get one from Harbor Freight, and it's probably like maybe 20 bucks, 10, 20 bucks. I would think can't be much more than that, and it's definitely rated for your body weight. I'm sure. So um, try one of those. It'll work definitely. Just make sure it's rated for more than enough. Looks like you're making a Halloween video now. I know, and I'm a day late. Petzl or IC? CMI is what I use, Billy. But Petzl, it was a nice one, the one I used to have. I agree with Dan. Oh. Okay, then now I know not use a rigging line for climbing with or anchoring. Okay. I know not to use the rigging line for climbing with or anchoring. Oh, I would use a rigging line for anchoring if that's all it's doing. If you're just practicing climbing, I mean, you got what you have what you have. You want your climbing line because what's going to happen is the only part that's really going to get that so much flex is the spot that goes over, and as long as you repeat, anchor it with more than enough, it's not moving. It's a stationary rope. It's just going to stay there. It's stiff. It shouldn't have as much stretch, so it's going to actually work a little better, in my opinion, for that anchoring on what you're doing. But that's just my opinion. I may be wrong. I don't think so, though. Done it quite a few times, so. Too many things could be wrong with the line after taking shock loads and friction burn. Yeah. Yeah, those things are cool. I use them a lot for everything. It's a brand new, never been used notch bungee or banshee. My harness is brand new. My spikes are brand new. Everything I have is brand new, not been used under my feet. How are they doing, John? How are your burns doing? You getting better? I hope your feet get well soon. They are high tops like 9 to 12 inch, tall boot straps. Cool. So would you still shank? My neighbors inside and Wolverine boots are pro, they are CE. But feet problems suck, I have them. Oh, I understand what you were talking about now, John. I have to look at a dead ash tree tomorrow, similar to the one that you just shot your video on. Yeah, they're a tough one. They're tough. It's tricky because it's like when you go to look at one, what's the extent that you should go to? There's the big question. Okay, you go to look at a tree. to give an estimate that is free, but how far do you go in detail on your estimate? Because you're going to be very detailed for the for the person, the homeowner, for them, but you need to be detailed for yourself. So you're looking at a tree and you're inspecting a tree. Is it out of line to throw a rope up in it and pull on it? I mean, because in the raw video that you guys are going to be getting, like I may put it out tomorrow. Um, in the raw video, I end up in an oak tree and it goes up and just arcs over, like goes horizontal almost, and it goes right over a bunch of sprinkler heads and like a freshly sealed blacktop driveway. So it's kind of a bummer, but it was so far gone. I didn't think it was nowhere near that bad, and as I got up in it and I was headed up, I would grab branches and they were snapping off as I went to grab a hold of them. So I was like, oh my god. And it was spongy. And like I could, it's funny because it's going to be a raw video, so you're going to see everything. I'm not going to put any music or anything to it. You can hear me breathing and realize, like, and I even realize that I'm doing it. Like, I'm kind of stressing myself out. Like, I'm thinking of everything that could go wrong, and then I just big deep breath, exhale, and I'm like, it stops. But like, I spend so much time playing the bad scenarios out that I guess I'm just preparing myself for it in case it was to come. I don't want to be shocked, and I want to have some sort of an ideal of something to do, because I definitely wouldn't call it a plan, because like you fail if you're having to do it, but like an idea. That's what I would say. But good luck, Dan, on it, and be careful, and I'm sure you'll be fine, man. You find out he's in worse shape than you thought it was. Yeah, it's a rough road. I mean, a good drone would be very effective to be able to kind of get up in there and look. Um, that's where I feel like an extremely large ladder would be very useful for a tree guy. Just sometimes just to inspect. Uh, but if you gotta go all the way up in a tree, you're definitely working then. So there's a point where you don't want to do stuff because it's like, if this person doesn't want me to, they don't want to pay for it to do this or that, then I wasted my time. So it's like, where's that, where's that limit? What, what do you say yes to, no to, and what is worth doing and not doing? So I think that's the trickiest part to it when you're going to look at trees and stuff. I seem to always get the sketchy ones ground pounder. I don't know why that is. Like, I think I mean, I do know why it is. I kind of enjoy it, but I feel like, I don't want to piss anybody off because I appreciate when people care. But like, it's always a very educated risk that I take. So like, I may push it, but like, I'll tell you if I'm pushing it past the limit I've ever pushed it before. But a lot of guys will never know their limit because they don't care to get anywhere near it. And I've just always been the type of person, no matter what it is I'm doing, excessive. So I always kind of want to know where my limit is. And I think that's where it comes from. And I love a good challenge. And all it usually takes is for someone to say one time that someone, it doesn't matter who it is, I'm a sucker. The more I think about this, I am a sucker. It takes one person to be like, yeah, I had two tree guys out and they said it can't be climbed. Oh, it's on. It's on then. It's like, what? You said what? I got this. Um, and then you want it just to prove that it can be. And then those guys, it ain't like they'll ever know, the ones that said. So I don't know why I care, but I'm a sucker. It just, I enjoy a good challenge. So I think that's what it is. But guys, I'm gonna wrap this up because I'm gonna try to get some food and stuff. Not let it get too late. I'm gonna continue burning some leaves. Let me throw some leaves on here so it don't go totally out on me. I wish I would have took some video of everything before I cut everything up, like all my plants and stuff. And then I mulched a bunch of leaves up, and then we covered, like, in all these, well, these two beds I haven't done yet because there's still a few flowers in it, but these other ones all along the back and stuff, and all my other plants, I went ahead and covered them and cut them for the season so they don't freeze and burn up. But there used to be a big maple tree here, and I took it down when I first moved in, and I don't think I ever, it's just been a long time since I've stumbled across that SD card, because I haven't even seen it in a long time. I know I still have it, and I know I haven't put it out, so it's something I should put out. But yeah, I've been digging this stump up, and out here with my axes, and just chopping away at it little by little, because I want to take and finish this retaining wall that's here. You guys see it? There's a retaining wall right here that goes around this bird bath over here. So I want to extend it out around and cover this spot up where that big maple log used to be, or tree used to be, but it's been quite the process. It has taken me forever to chop that thing out. What's up, Steve? Dang, you know what? I just thought about it. I hope. Oh, hey, for anybody who um, missed the live feed because I decided to do it at 6 o'clock instead of 8. With the time change, it's getting dark really quick. So I would rather do this, what we did outside. So I kind of changed the time on you. So I apologize if you ended up missing the live feed because of that. But just kind of be aware that on Tuesday, it would probably come anywhere between 6 and 7. So it depends on kind of what I have going on, but I try to be right in that range. And like I was saying, if you have a question, or you want to know something, or you want to see something demonstrated, and like I see that it's something that maybe you have an idea for a video, leave a comment, and if I can, we'll turn it into one of these. So like I said before, and I'll say it again, ground pounder is the reason that we did this one tonight. So in my craft advance, you just climb up SRT to get the job because of all the time. You guys climb? Oh no, what the hell happened there? You guys climb? There's shotgun. Yeah, climbing. I don't think most people. They'll destroy someone's yard, fence, everything to get their equipment in nowadays. Climbing is not a thing anymore. What's up, DJ? How are you, buddy? It's been fun, everybody. Have a great... Billy, you're awesome. Thanks for hanging out. You definitely have a good week too, man. I don't know yet, Dan. I don't know. We'll find out though. Have a great evening, Mike. Dan. Keep your head up. But yeah, Dan's the man. He's not just the tree man. He's the man. William, how you doing, buddy? That's bummer that you're gonna funk, dude. But I get there too. I mean, it's a, it's a. I don't think most people ever understand like the adrenaline highs for our job are so high. I think that we also end up dealing with very low lows. So there's like we're so crazy on the spectrum. Like it's such a wide range. You know, you're you feel like a superhero, and then you come home and real life smacks you in the mouth. You know, so it's hard on tree guys. You know, if anybody understands, it's another tree guy to be able to easily get in the phone. You see people stop, just randomly stop and stare at me. I don't get it. If I was them, I would have better things to do. But I don't know. Thanks for sharing. No problem, Ground Pounder. Time change is this Sunday. Yeah, I know technically, but like everything's changed around here, so damn, I missed it again. Going to have to start Tuesday off working. So yeah, hey, you're good though, Steve. I started it actually early this week, buddy, and I apologize. Next week will probably be more. Well, maybe we'll go in the middle, like 6:30 or something like that. Oh, good. Ah, dang it. Well, then you're due for some good luck then, man. Need to do another video with the pistol saw. Yeah, the pistola saw. Yeah. What is up with Kellen? You're good though, Kellen. Thanks for even stopping in. I appreciate the hell out of it. Everyone have a great week. Stay safe. You too, Turbo. You too, BTS. Definitely everybody stay safe. I feel like it's something that like that is my way of saying like if I did something stupid in my video, don't do it. Like just enjoy it as entertainment. But if you decide to go try any of this stuff, for God's sake, be safe. And I feel like that's why I always have to put it at the end of my videos. It's just something I've always done. And I'm definitely a creature of habit. After I do something so many times, I just continue to do it. Yeah, Ground Pounder, 100%. Me too, buddy. Dan's definitely not on his own on that. It's rough, man. It's rough. And this time of year definitely isn't my favorite time of year. It's definitely easier for me to get in a funk at this time. When it gets cold and stuff and everything slows down, gets harder, things start tearing up. You don't even want to step outside the door to go fix them because it's so cold. Yeah. Ground Pounder, see you, buddy. Hope that helped you out. Thanks, Billy. Well, you guys are gonna have to tell me what you think about the upcoming video. It will be a raw video. I will try this out for you guys because I've been asked so many times to do raw videos. Um, but I definitely don't know if it'll be a permanent thing. But just we'll give it a shot. You guys tell me what you think. Definitely need some feedback on it, um, so that I can kind of judge whether it's worth continuing and doing or not. So we'll see. Oh, who was that? Frederick. What's up, Fred? Right on, buddy. Well, hey, have a good night, and thanks for hanging. I appreciate it. Billy, you have a good one, Ground Pounder. Anybody who watched and hung out, and even if you didn't leave a comment, if you didn't leave a comment that I don't know for sure you're here, you're just one of the little people up in the corner. They don't give me your name. But thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for giving me your time and attention for a little while. I will catch you guys next time. Stay safe.